Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Cindy here from CLB Craft Creations with another card project for you in our holiday card series for 2016. This card's going to be a one-layer card and it's going to feature some masking. So we'll go ahead and get started because there's quite a few elements to do. We're going to be using the Sheltering Tree stamp set. I know not really the most typical set for a holiday card, but I think that you will like what we've got in store. We're going to be using our sentiment from the Stitched with Cheer set. We're going to use the Wishing You a Fabulous Year Filled with Good Cheer. And then, believe it or not, we're using the Christmas Pine set for this tiny, tiny, tiny little 2 dots here to add some red berries. Okay, get those out of the way. We've got a piece of cardstock, Whisper White cardstock. It's cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And again, I mentioned this is going to be a one-layer card, so this is basically the only layer of cardstock. Now I'm going to take some Post-it tape, but you can use really anything that you want to mask off your paper. And I'm just going to use my little grid mat here to help me line up. I'm just going to do 2 here and then 2 on this side, just to kind of help line up the stuff I want to mask off. And then I think, let me see how much. Okay, I want some of that to hang off. So I'm going to take another piece. Now, again, you can use regular Post-it notes. You can use just a thin piece of copy paper. It's really, really up to you what you want to do. All right, so I'm going to be using Soft Sky and Night of Navy, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sponge on my background. So I'm going to start with the lightest color first. And I'm going to, I will speed this process up for you so you don't have to sit and watch me do this, but I'm just going to ink up my little sponge wedge here. And I'm just going to gently, working from the outside in, I'm going to just gently roll on my color. So I'm starting off so that I don't get very defined swirl marks. I want it to be nice and even. So you're just going to keep going back to your ink pad and loading up your sponge with ink. And I'm going to keep this center here. I want this to be a little bit lighter, like maybe the moon is kind of behind there. This is going to be a night scene. But I like to start off of my cardstock so that I don't get a huge, heavy concentration where I bring my sponge in. That's kind of the key with sponging and masking, is always to start off, because you can always add more, but it's really hard to take it off. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this piece, and I will come back in with the next color. Okay, so now I'm going to just take some Night of Navy, and this is going to be a process, building on the color and off the color. So I don't want it to be super dark, but I definitely want it to look like a night sky. So now I'm going to repeat the same process with the Night of Navy. Now this one's obviously a lot darker, so you want to be real careful when you start adding on your color. Okay, so now we're back, and I'm going to go ahead and close up my Soft Sky, and I'm going to bring in my Early Espresso, and actually I want to pull off this piece down here So we'll pull this off and relieves an, it shows a nice crisp line there for us. And actually I can take this one off too. I'm not masking off anything else up here. Okay, so get those two out of my way. So now you've got this beautiful little border to represent our night sky. So now I'm going to take the tree image and I'm going to ink that up. And I don't have to ink the whole thing up because I'm just going to stamp actually the branches. Okay, and I'm going to turn this on its side at an angle. And I want to have it coming in and kind of down. So basically diagonal. And I want it to stamp some in the blue border and some on the white. Just press that down. Okay, there we go. And hopefully that actually looks more like tree branches than anything. I do want to give this a, no, I think we're good with that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. I'm going to stamp my sentiment down the bottom in the Night of Navy. I want to pull in that Night of Navy color. Okay, and I'm just going to do that right down here in the bottom right corner. Okay. Close these up. And then I want to add, so I'm going to get my tiny little dots and some real red. And hopefully these will actually show up. I'm not sure they're going to show up on the and I'm just going to kind of put these randomly where they might make sense to be. This obviously doesn't belong to this stamp set, so although I don't want them to look like cherries. So I'm just randomly stamping these. Sometimes it's just fun to play around. Getting ink on my finger. Okay, I think that's going to be enough of the red berries for me. You certainly could add plenty more. So I'm going to give you a quick shot at how that looks. It's kind of fun. And then for my final piece, I'm going to take some of the Whisper White craft ink. I'm going to take my block. I'm going to take a large block anyway, and I'm just going to kind of give a little smudgy there of, that's a technical term by the way, a little smudgy. And I'm going to take my aqua painter and I'm going to put a little bit of water on here, and I'm going to kind of mix it all up, mix all that in there and make it nice and mixed in. And then I'm just going to flick. Just flicking that all over my card. And then we're going to allow that to dry. And then you basically have these little white flecks in the background, and you can't even really see how that looks. But it's just kind of very, very faint little white specks all over the card. So there you have another card project for you in our holiday card series, and I hope that you will join me for the next one. Thanks guys, I'll see you soon.